fridge. Sorry. I'm gonna read a couple lines from this poem. Dried maple and ash bark, lush emerald flats, the fall-colored arena hark, the wide superior mats. At the valley's peak, encircled my life, the open space speaks. Let me
Gonna give it a couple minutes here for people to come in, and we'll get started. What's up, Nail? How you doing? Yeah, for the most part, man. Let me turn down this music. Yeah, for the most part, I'm healed up. Still have a big hole in my mouth. Like, it's still a little infected, but they gave me some antibiotics, and I don't know, we're taking it one day at a time. Yeah, I had a tooth root break in my mouth, and it broke through my gums, which infected my whole mouth. And they went in, pulled the tooth, and they'd like cut out all the abscess and stuff, and there's some nasty stuff in my mouth. Let me like the stream from all my accounts. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes, see if anyone else joins, and then I guess we'll get started. All right. Let's see. I add. See some new people are coming in. I'm just gonna give it another minute and a half for anyone else to come in, and then we'll get started. All right. What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to go over Bitcoin and Ethereum for the most part. Go over a couple different time frames, and then answer any questions. Maybe go over a couple altcoin charts that you guys want. Other than that, it's going to be a quick day. I had a dental operation yesterday. I had a tooth root break in my mouth, and it infected like the whole left side of my gum line and jaw and everything. Long story short, the dentist had to cut me open, and I'm pretty stitched up, so sorry if the audio isn't as great as it should be. But yeah, let's get into this. No audio? You should be able to hear. Let me see. Oh, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it works. All right, cool. Let's get into this. So I think I am gonna give a small bullish sentiment today, or a possibility that could happen. Um, I am seeing something that could be possible if certain scenarios play out, but again, our longer time frames like the weekly and monthly look pretty bad. So just to like clarify on this, my monthly looks like it's topped for the most part. If we go back in time on, ooh, I guess my, hold on one second. So if we go back in time on the, yeah. So if we go back in time on this monthly, like all the way back to 2017, maybe not the best example, but to me it looks like we've kind of topped. We also have like a doji reversal on the monthly here, with higher volume than the previous top candle. So that is a reversal pattern technically. MACD's wearing down, it's weakening. Looks like we could see it cross previously with monthlies when we saw crosses. It wasn't exactly good. I believe we saw one here, 2019, just a small cross, still kind of headed down. Never really saw a big upward move until it crossed back over. So just something to think about. Again, on the weekly, to me, I use the whole moving average. It's been very consistent in determining uh, bear market cycle. Basically, you'll be above it, above it, above it, go below it, and then you'll retest and reject. And on that rejection, usually it leads into the bear market. As you can see in 2017, we have this breakthrough, retest, down. So another thing we can look at is our moving averages. Let me clean this up. Don't really use the 100. So again, we have what looks like a death cross forming in 2018 again. We had a death cross form after the whole moving average rejection, and it ultimately led into the bear market. These are two indicators, but also my price action. Very bearish on this move back upwards. In my opinion, this looks like a dead cat bounce. Uh, if I were to tell you this is a 15-minute chart and we dropped and then popped back up, um, you might also agree that this is a dead cat bounce. Overextended for the most part. Okay, let's go into the day. So, I've I've got this chart, and this is what I've been posting on Twitter. Hold on, I'll answer that. So this is my Twitter chart that I've been talking about for quite some time. Uh, there is a head and shoulders. It's very clear. We did retest the neckline, which validates further. The breakdown also validates. Uh, I could see another retest of 45K, particularly like with 4 hour volume and it being the weekly. 4 hour looks very bearish volume wise, but for shorts to load up, you typically load up shorts around a resistance level. That resistance level has been around 45K, 44.5. So I'm kind of waiting for another big drop. We also have another 2 days of this weekend, which we know weekend price action is really iffy. And honestly, in my opinion, I think on the weekends, like if you're in an uptrend, weekend price action, usually you fall down or go sideways. If you're in a downtrend, weekend price action is you go up or you go sideways. So, in my opinion, we're in a downtrend. That's why we're seeing some upward movement, at least on this 4 hour. I think tomorrow, morning and afternoon, we'll see a little bit of upward movement, but tomorrow night and especially Monday morning, I am expecting quite the drop. So, let me move back to my clean chart. So back to this day. So I mentioned that I would paint a bullish scenario for you guys. I do see the possibility. It could change some things. It would be really weird if it did. But what I'm seeing here with price action is so we're dropping, right? Volume's still high on these drops. But what I'm noticing is if we make a lower low, so this is our current downtrend. If we make a lower low, with less volume, that gives more credibility to this descending wedge. So if you have like You know, let's say we go back up and then we come back down and your volume candles are like stair stepping downwards. Sorry, they're stair stepping downwards like that. So basically, volume's going down as price is going down. That is a bullish indication. Does that change the entire sentiment? No, but it's a good indication that maybe we could see another quick bounce back up to 52K. Maybe this is just some sideways movement before another big drop. Um, but it is a good indication because I'm seeing a lot of weakness in MACD. RSI is still pretty bearish, but for the most part, price action could go either way. I'm still leaning more bearish because this head and shoulders pattern was pretty much validated. It's been validated on the breakdown and on the retest. So if you're looking along, I'd be careful. Usually when patterns validate, they follow or have follow-up movement in up or down, depending if the pattern's bullish or bearish. So 4 hour, I wanted to go over 4 hour price action real quick with you guys. So good indication of price action is you look at the lowest low to the highest high in a sequence. So from this lowest low to this high, usually I'll look at if we're going up, I'll look at the first green candle. So this first green candle here, and then as you're going up, like what's volume doing? And volume is kind of trending down. Um, yes, we have this very volatile candle that has a lot of volume, but for me, it's just a volatility thing. It's not actually confirming more volume or more buy orders coming in. It's just volatile. So I consider this a neutral candle. So overall, it's going down, which is why we saw this huge dump, especially at this 45K line, which is our resistance. So the next move, we went down and we kind of bounced back up, which if you longed, awesome. Glad you guys made some money. But I am noticing that, so here you have another big spike. We're going up, but volume's going back down. And it's a weekend. So for me, this is just spelling like shorts are going to be loaded up. This could be exit pumps for anything that long down here. Maybe they want to try and get more sell orders in around 45K. To me, this is not very bullish, but we'll have to wait and see what happens on the next drop. The next drop could really make or break some things, especially if volume's a lot lower than it previously has. So now I'll look at a 1 hour real quick. Yeah, so same thing. The 1 hour, you kind of have this like up but lower volume. Now we're going sideways. So I am kind of expecting a little bit of upward movement, but I am expecting volume to be pretty low for that. I have also noticed that MACD is still below your bullish intersection point. So if you take MACD and you split the whole thing in half, this section would be bullish and this section would be bearish. I'm not really expecting this to cross over into this point, or if it does, it'll be a very brief crossover. All right, back to the 1 hour. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think this could push a little bit higher, maybe to this 44.8, maybe to this 44,000, 44.5, anywhere here. That's going to be your major resistance. This isn't looking very strong, so I don't really expect a pump through 45K unless a lot of volume comes in. So what was the maybe bullish indicator? So the maybe bullish indicator, and again, this is a big maybe. There is a chance there is going to be a decent long opportunity. So I think we're gonna drop again. Now, if we drop with less volume, so if you look at volume here, all of this, if we have another big drop to let's say 38K and volume's like a lot less, so let's say the volume candle is like that. To me, that is volume on the selling side is starting to go down. We could go down further, down to here. And if volume keeps decreasing like that, then that's actually a bullish sign. It's not really a long-term bullish sign, but it's a good indication that there might be a good opportunity to long. Similar to what happened over here. So you have this head and shoulders, you have all this drop. You have all this dropping happen. So all this volume in here. So this is bearish over. Can't really that. So over here, this is your very bearish volume. You have volume going up as price is going down, and then we kind of like slowly drift down, and volume's actually going down. as we're slowly drifting down, which is bullish, which is why this big move happened. A lot of people miss this because some people don't really look at price action, but this is actually signaling an exhaustive state. So just like going up, you can exhaust. Going down, you can exhaust as well, which is what this is. Um, I think it could very well happen again somewhere in here. It just depends on what happens with volume coming in. I mean, we could see a ton of selling volume come in. We haven't even seen anything in regards to what happened over here yet. So at the same time, I want to say there is a chance to be bullish. I'm still leaning heavily bearish. So there's a very much confirmed head and shoulders right here. So you think there will be a drop before maybe a bullish movement happens. So I kind of went over, there is a possibility we continue a little bit higher here. Like I said, the resistance is at 45K area, so like anywhere in here. We've kind of bounced off it before. Now we're bouncing below it. So I think because it's the weekend, because volume's generally really low, there is a chance we go up and retest this area, but to be fair, I don't think it's worth taking the chance. I don't really see a whole lot of bullishness on this chart. Your longer term time frames are heavily bearish. On the day, you have a validated head and shoulders, both breakdown and retest. So I would be careful if you're looking to long right now. Gotcha. So you reckon there will be a drop first before the maybe bullish movement happens? Yes. So yes, I'm expecting a big drop pretty soon. So let me go over Ethereum, and then I'll take any questions. So Ethereum's day, ooh, this is not very good. So we had mentioned that Ethereum kind of had a head and shoulders similar to Bitcoin. I actually think looking at this now, the resistance was more of a diagonal instead of just like a lateral. You can see that we have a left shoulder here, a head here, and a right shoulder here-ish. We have an initial breakdown, we have a retest, and then another kind of breakdown. This could retest this line again. I wouldn't bank on it just because it's the weekend. It might go up, but I wouldn't bank on it. I don't see a whole lot of bullishness. I mean, we have MACD kind of wearing off down here, but you can't really go off just that. I am noticing that, yeah, these selling peaks are still pretty high, and we still haven't even seen selling volume like we did over when we were 4.2K all the way down to, I believe, 1700. So to me, this is still very bearish. Look at a 4 hour. Yeah, so 4 hours similar to Bitcoin. You have some very bearish price action on your 4 hour, especially right here, and especially right up in here. I mean, this is the definition of bearish price action. Let me find my arrow. So you have your volume going down here, and you have your price going up, especially off a drop. That's pretty bearish. And you can further confirm that with the move on the drop. You have volume going up as we're going down. So for me, this is pretty bearish. Sentiment doesn't look like it's changing. And in order for it to change, I think there needs to be some sideways movement, some kind of accumulation pattern, like an inverted head and shoulders or a double bottom like we saw at 1700. So again, if you're looking to long, I'd be patient, wait for some invalidation. Your invalidation point would be anything above this sort of neckline. Maybe you could try and catch a bounce on one of these support levels, but catching a falling knife is never the best idea, in my opinion. You forgot you have a bit of delay. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like this? Yeah, there's a little bit. So let's look at a 1 hour real quick. So yeah, same thing as Bitcoin. We kind of went up. We're going sideways. I do kind of expect to go up a little bit more. Maybe retest this 3K area, but again, longer time frames look very bearish, and especially on this 1 hour, MACD is not looking strong. You're actually sloping down. Your hills are getting lower. That's either so that can either mean two things: consolidation or exhaustion. For me, it's more of exhaustion because we are in this bearish state on MACD. Also, longer term time frames are considerably bearish. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to point out real quick. So in my Discord last night, I talked about this total chart. I wanted to kind of walk through what I think is going to happen and why I think. So if I go ahead and draw a trend line from the bottom of our total all the way to the top, like this, you could even say, well, you could say it kind of bounced off. Let's see if we can get it so it invalidates. So yeah, and I'm in log. This is a weird kind of chart. It's never really perfect, but we have this kind of breakdown. Um, Maybe we didn't have a breakdown. But to me, this is not necessarily a good sign. Um, Total is the chart's always going to look a little funky, especially with support and resistance, because you have to take into account there's thousands of cryptocurrencies in play. So it's kind of hard to judge if we are really bullish or really bearish, because some altcoins could just pop off while Bitcoin's just going sideways and down. Uh, does that happen in a bear market? No, but anything's possible. But I do notice that this is forming a double top. Your validation point would be anything below 1.3 trillion about? Yeah, 1.3 trillion. So if we saw uh, price just kind of do this, maybe bounce back up and then go down like that, that would be a huge bearish sign. That would be a confirmed double top, a confirmed reversal pattern. It's not looking good so far. So, but this could continue up. Uh, my sentiment could be wrong, but Bitcoin really determines this market, and the monthly, the weekly, and the daily are all very bearish, in my opinion. All right, so I guess just real quick, does anyone have any questions? Do you want me to cover anything? Would you like to learn something new? Go ahead and put something in the chat. Music. When do we drop? Um, I would say anywhere Sunday night to Monday, expect a drop. That's usually when a lot of volume comes in. Weekly price action is really hard to draw a lot like conclusions on the shorter time frames, but generally volume comes in on that Sunday night, Monday morning period when China and Europe wake up and start working. So, like I said, tonight, tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, we could go up a little bit. It's likely, but I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, yeah, not the best looking card if you're looking to long. I won't lie. Plus, I believe we're below the 21 EM. Yes, we are, and I believe we're below all moving averages that really matter at this point. The 100, not the best. The 200 really is the one that's important. We also have a death cross right here, so that's interesting. We had this bullish golden cross and everyone was losing their mind, and look what happened. I actually want to see if this was like 12% like I said it would. It was actually 17%. So yeah, I had said that this golden cross was actually a bull trap. It very much was. um I just know how you could have thought that was bull. KC, oh, we're actually kind of below the KC channel, so this is interesting. uh but I don't think this is Ichimoku. I believe we're in the cloud. Okay. So if any of you guys know how Ichimoku works, it's just like a long story short kind of thing. You have these clouds, and being above the green is technically bullish. Being inside of it is where you start to see sentiment change, and being below it is pretty bearish. So, all right, looks like the questions finally came. Let's see, forgot you have a bit of delay. You have time to look at the YouTube video of Crypto Michael? I'll probably look at that while I go to the gym today. I don't think I'm gonna pull up someone else's YouTube video on my live stream just because. But I'll definitely check it out, and I'll be able to respond to you in Discord over it. Just if you don't mind, send me the link to the video. Just like DM me or put it in like yeah, just DM me it. Let's see. Let's see where our EMAs are. We're still on the 200. Are we below the 200? The 200 would be my dark blue. So yeah, we're testing the 200 EMA. So hmm, yeah, 39, 38, 39 seems to be where a lot of the volumes come in. Let's see. What is the advantage of using log scale? So, okay, so log scale is more for like longer term, like if you're looking at something really long term. So if you pull up the, I need to find the chart real quick. Oh, you know what? They probably removed it. That's probably why. They did. They removed it. So the chart that I was using was to BitMEX, I believe, and it had all of 2013 bull market in it, which is why I like to compare. But it's looking like it's not. So I'll try and just do it this way. So the log scale just kind of puts like everything on the chart at once into a logarithmic scaling. So obviously your price goes from 500 to 800 here, which is like a small move, but from 6,000 to 10,000, like it tries to scale it out so you can see the entire time frame. Or I can zoom in like this. So yeah, like I think a little while ago we had mentioned like something like this, just eyeballing like you have this test, breakdown, retest, retest, which could be a nothing, but logarithmic scale on charts just allows you to look at more of a longer term view. Any idea on ADA and Cody are going up while Bitcoin is sideways? I don't think ADA is going up right now, but let me look. I mean, it's up 4%. That's good, I guess. ADA going up. I mean, it has some nice screen movement, but looks like it's rejected right where it needed to. What should it pop up? It popped up a nice 30%. How much is it down? It go down. So about 40%. Okay. Probably because ADA is probably popping up because the chart was really strong to begin with. Um, especially down here. Now this was a clear sign of exhaustion. So you have this bullish price action here, and then this is actually exhaustion. This little move upwards where volume's starting to go down. We try to make another new all-time high with very low volume. That was a good indication of exhaustion. Especially we see this ascending. So yeah, if you were trading ADA and you saw this ascending wedge and you sold the top, congratulations. But yeah, no, this is definitely a sign of exhaustion. So I guess this is a good time to point out like a good price action lesson. So this box here, I guess all of this is pretty bullish. You can see like price action or volumes going up, prices going up. That's very bullish. But in here, we actually start to form a bearish pattern, which is your, give me the heart. You form a bearish pattern, which is your ascending wedge. We've seen it break down several times for Bitcoin. So I would imagine that it would break down for everything else. So we see this anyways, we see this ascending wedge, and we're actually drifting up with volume drifting down. That's a bullish, exhaustive volume pattern, especially when it makes a pattern. Like, okay, we'll send you a DM. Thanks. Oh yeah, yeah, no problem, dude. Be happy to look at it for you. But for ADA going up, I would say that this is going to come down probably tomorrow, like I said with Bitcoin. Like I said, it's kind of rejected where it needed to reject. You have this resistance line here. It looks like it rejected right off, like right around it. Sorry, let me log here. Yeah, it looks like it's just rejected right where it needed to. If this breaks above this line and breaks like 2.5, it could be a little bit more bullish, but I think things would have to change for Bitcoin in order for that to happen. Does that kind of answer your question? Oh, and generally alts, some alts tend to see some nice green days when Bitcoin moves sideways. I mean, look at one, it's up 8% today. Wow, it actually really kind of pumped. Interesting. But I don't know. I think a lot of alts are being used as exit pumps for whales. That's why you see these really low cap coins like Harmony just popping off out of nowhere, especially when there's big sell-offs occurring on all other altcoins. So, I mean, we're pretty red across the board. Some things are down in the multiple digits. It's not looking great. Do you trade with your own money? Yeah, I trade with my own money. What do you think I'm trading with? Monopoly money? Yeah, I trade. Do you trade with your own money? Yeah, man. I've been in this game for 3 or 4 years now. I've learned a lot. Uh, I will say I've learned quicker than most people just because I've really taken time out of my day to like really learn a lot of different things about trading. And I've actually found that when you simplify your chart, when you grab like 3 to 4 indicators rather than 20, you really you generally get better conclusions. So I move it to USDC, but I just found out today that it's taxed the same as if I did it to USD. So I'm considering moving my USD into or USDC into USD the next time I make a trade. Can I trade with your money? What? No. Uh, you move it. Wondering how safe stablecoins are. The only stablecoin I've really heard a lot of negative things about is USDT. So, I mean, if you're really worried about it, just throw down a stop loss on your USDT. You can, it barely fluctuates. So if you just throw it down like 2 or 3%, I mean, if the day comes where there's a huge crash, at least you're losing, 3 to 5% rather than your entire portfolio. Can a descending wedge lead to a bullish scenario? Descending wedges are bullish patterns, but I think you could kind of draw a wedge with any chart. So I drew one because there's one. So if I pull up my Twitter chart, there was one here. Sorry, there was one here, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is a descending wedge, descending wedge." It's really not. I mean, I guess it is because I drew it, but you have a validated head and shoulders. So the reason why I drew this is because this is actually a bull trap, and people are seeing this descending wedge. And granted, it hasn't broken down yet, so I can't say it's completely bearish, but for the most part, this could very well be a bull trap, just like it was here. I mean, we have a reversal, a bearish reversal pattern that has been validated and revalidated twice. We had a bearish reversal pattern here that was validated and revalidated twice and led to a huge sell-off. I'm anticipating that this scenario will be similar to this scenario, but I'm open to see it being invalidated. Shame. Sorry, man. I've worked hard for my portfolio. Uh, Descending wedge. So, okay, I'll give you the bullish scenario for the descending wedge. Let me pull it up. So, okay, let's say volume comes in here and some crazy shit happens, and we go and move. Let's say we like make a double bottom like that, and then we break up. So this break right here, if the day breaks and closes, I would start leaning bullish. If we broke this 45K resistance and then back tested it, I'd be bullish here, a little bit more bullish here. If we break this peak here at 48K, maybe retest, I'd be very bullish there. If we break 52K, sentiments changed in my opinion. Things are pretty bullish, and obviously I need to wait for price action. I'd like to see price action be bullish instead of like it was over here where every single spike got lower over time. This is actually bearish price action. So if I was to see this kind of scenario, we would need volume to do somewhat like this, where it's going up, instead of like that. So you want to see volume going up as this price is kind of going up and back testing some of these resistance levels that turn into support. You want to see a lot of volume come in when we break 52K. I think if we do break 52K with good volume, we could very well see 100K soon. But in my opinion, the monthly, the weekly, the daily are all very bearish, and I don't think we're going anywhere. So for me, it's just better to be patient. What do you think about Wickoff scheme? I think Wickoff works. I mean, it worked here. Wickoff distribution. This is what this was. Wickoff distribution. This is what this is. I don't believe that this was really Wickoff accumulation. In my opinion, I just don't see the follow-up volume was just so lacking. I mean, yes, this is a bullish move upwards in a way, but to me, it's just a dead cat bounce. I mean, we dropped from the peak, we dropped 56% from top to bottom. Granted, we recovered, and you could have made close to 85% from bottom to top, but when you look at this, you are making a lower high. We have not made the lower low yet, but if we do come down and we go to here and bounce, that's not really good. That to me fully confirms this bear market. I'm already convinced that we're in a bear market cycle, but that would fully convince everybody that this is a bear market cycle, which I think that you should take advantage of and be happy for, because lower prices, you're going to make way more money when Bitcoin goes from 20K to 100K versus 42K to 100K. Let's see. I'll take a couple more questions and then I'm going to hop out of here. So let me know what you guys got. Sorry, this was a real quick one today. But I hope you guys are learning a couple new things. And by the way, just so everyone knows, we have a Discord. The link is down below, I believe. We discuss charts, ideas, market sentiment, global sentiment every single day. There's a lot of very smart people in it. If you're new to trading, it's a great learning tool. Everything in it's free. We don't charge anything. But again, it's our opinions and it's what we think, but we back it up with some very good analysis. And we will teach you how to use any of the tools that we use. There's different kinds of traders in my Discord, anything from short term to swing traders to long term DCA. So you get the whole kind of gist of the investment strategy everyone's looking at. Thanks. What I meant before trading with your own money is whether you just do TA or you trade with your own money based on your own TA. So I actually have made the majority of my net worth trading. I started at the end of 2017. Didn't really make anything, didn't really lose anything. I mean, I made a little bit. But 2018, 2019, 2020, I traded the entire bear market. This is really where I learned how to trade, where I learned how things work. I never really got a full bull market cycle, so this is my first one. I did really well in the bull market cycle. As a young man, I'm doing pretty well for myself, so I'm not doing just fine. But I traded my own money. It's nice to see a big return. I'm hoping to continue doing it. Hey there, dear Roman. Oh, what's up, man? Hey, anytime. Glad you guys are enjoying it. It's cool that you guys come watch. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I've been at first I started paper trading just to learn. I hated it just because I felt like it wasn't really trading, because there's a whole different kind of psychology when you're trading with actual money to fake money. So if you're new to trading, I recommend you trade with a very low amount, like a couple $100, versus like $1,000 to $10,000, because when you start with a higher amount, you're gonna lose a lot. You're gonna lose a lot when you first start trading. Like, that's how it works. Your fluctuations are gonna be very inconsistent. You might make a big trade, but then you'll lose on your next trade. Maybe even worse than you won. So if you're new to trading, I would start with a really low amount, kind of get your feet in the water, and then once you feel confident, maybe start adding more to your account over time. Trading is a marathon, not a sprint, so make sure you're taking your time. Go ahead and make mistakes. Don't give up. The people that lose in trading give up. Try out new things, try out new metrics, try out new indicators. Find what works for you and what's consistent, and build a trading plan and a trading system, and realize that your system is different from everybody else's. So the way you trade is going to be different from everybody else. All right, I'll take one or two more questions, then I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's always nice when you can make trades and your analysis is right and you're also being paid for it. It is an amazing feeling. But I'm a swing trader, so I'm trying to trade these big upward swings. I try to catch close to the bottom, try and sell close to the top. I make a nice 40% portfolio gain. It's a good life, man. Can't complain. Hey, thanks, Stanberry. I'm having an okay weekend, that's for sure. My weekend's just about to get started. I'm gonna go get a nice workout after this. I couldn't yesterday because I had my dental operation, but gonna go get a nice workout after this, and I think I'm gonna go eat some steak and drink some bourbon. It's gonna be a good night. Might watch some of the UFC fights tonight. I think Diaz fight, one of the Diaz brothers fights, so that'll be good. What do you think the max low is for this cycle? So okay, so my max low, I pulled from the 200 moving average on the weekly, which has been a consistent bottom. Uh, let's see. It has been a consistent bottom in every bear market. Again, my chart that shows the entirety of Bitcoin's lifetime trading view removed, and I need to find a new one. And I did not know they removed it until I started my stream. But yeah, the 200, the white is the 200. The 200 has been bounced off of several times, even during the mid-COVID crash. This was the 27 or 2018 bear market. We bounced off it twice. So I'm looking to DCA anywhere around this 200. I think this 200 will kind of do some of this, and price will do some of that. So, around 20 to 24K. I think the lowest it could possibly be is anywhere between 16.8 to 18.5. I doubt we'll get that low, but if we got that low, it'd be great. I'd start DCAing there. If we break through this 200 and just continue going down, that's scary. That's when I'll say that we're going to have a very bad bear market. But never go wrong with DCAing. It's a safe way to invest. Um, it's longer term. It's more longer term, but you're protecting your money over time. Someone private. Your efforts, your efforts to share information are very much appreciated. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, so I think yeah, exactly. Well, I think low 20s are probably the bottom. Like I said, the 2017 top has never been back tested. Usually it does. So yeah, anywhere in the 20s is really where I think. So 20 to 24K. I think we were set to super low somewhere around the mid 20s. Yes, yes, mid 20s would be great. Look at this 15-minute real quick. Let's see if we can get any little conclusions here. Yeah, just some sideways movement. I mean, this could be an inverted head and shoulders right here. You have a kind of a left shoulder ahead and kind of a right shoulder-ish over here. Yeah, if this breaks up above like 43K, we could see 45K again. But like I said, I doubt it's going to go any higher than that. It just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think like just like you think, well, mid 20s and then probably gonna see a huge bull swing similar to what we saw in over here in 2019 where we went from like 3K to 14K over I think that was like a 2 or 3 month period. And then we saw kind of some slow downward movement. I mean, this is COVID, so black swan event. But ultimately, if COVID didn't happen, I thought we'd just kind of go like that, taper off, and then bull market. So You really can't go wrong trying to buy around that 200 moving average point, which is, you know, so yeah. But I do think the bull market cycle has ended. I don't think sentiment is in any place to change. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys learned something. I am gonna end it here. Um, if you have any questions, feel free to at me in Discord. I'm gonna be on like a bike for the next hour, so yeah, I'll feel free to answer any questions you had, anything you want me to go over. I'll definitely take a look at. If you like the content, please subscribe. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Like the video, that also helps. And then again, my Discord link should be below. And big shout out to Payne Robinson. I'm using his music now. It's not copywritten, so I won't get hit with that copyright strike. So thank you, Payne. Uh, as always, guys, be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.